Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Relative Talk number 2. We don't usually do these, but we felt with the changes that are coming in Warmind, they're going to be significant enough to actually, invoke conversation about the future of T2 and not it being a dead game. So, I'm joined today by Deny Tank.
What's up, folks?
You may remember him from the final D1 montage. He created most of the clips, the Crucible Beast himself. So, to get into this, first of all, we're going to try and give you a bit of context on our relationships with Destiny over the year. So, I'll let Denai start off. How did you play like D2 and like what was your relationship like going from D1 into D2?
I loved the game. It was a big day to the community for me. I met a lot of good people, seen a lot of nice things, so I enjoyed the game a lot. I never played D2 for a while. I was waiting to see if it was worth it. I heard a lot of people saying otherwise, but I wanted to wait and see for myself. And I still don't think it's in the greatest of places, just due to actually playing the game myself. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be picked up. Oh fuck, I completely fucked it.
It's all good, man. Yeah, for me, it was a case of I completely fanboyed D2. So literally, I had the pre-order there day one, got in at the ground
Well,
floor, and then it
played the
kind of
beta.
just waned after that. Okay.
I never bought it straight away because I played the beta and I wasn't a fan of the gameplay. Like it felt completely different. You could feel it as soon as you touched the beta if you played Destiny 1 ever.
Hmm.
And that for me was weird. I didn't know how they were going to feel the gameplay was going to feel like PvP and stuff.
Okay.
But I never got a chance to play it because Destiny 2 beta was absolutely excellent.
Oh, well, that is fair. Like, I did notice a difference at the beta, but it's like the hype level just kind of
I
blinded
was
me.
expecting it was real, but I don't know. I never played it straight away. I spent some time watching some videos in PvP and Crucible because that's mainly what I played. The same as in Destiny 1, all I ever played was Crucible. And I wanted to see how it felt and what it looked like, how the guns were, if they were powerful, if they were weak.
Yeah, yeah.
And the first thing that I saw was that the guns, they never killed very quickly, and I was kind of worried about that. The characters were really slow. It felt like the game had slowed down, or like a really big amount. And based on games nowadays, every game is slowing down, and it's bad for the game. It's kind of killing it off.
Hmm.
Destiny 1 was fun because it was quick paced, everybody enjoyed it. You could be overpowered with anything you used, you didn't have to be stuck to a singular loadout, and you felt powerful with every gun.
Okay. So, do you feel like Destiny's moving in that correct direction, or is it just like too little too late at this point?
Definitely trying. And definitely trying. It's never too late as long as they're actually trying to make a difference.
Okay.
It was the same with Destiny 1. It slowed down for a brief period of time, just shortly after the April update. There was nothing to do. It
Yeah.
was quite slow. And then the Rise of Iron came out, and it picked up severely. And then weapons like Clever Dragon and stuff started coming in. They were really powerful. It was fun to use them for a while. And then it got slow again, and then obviously they added an extra update. It's kind of late now, but I don't really remember the update.
Okay. So, do you feel it's okay, like, with the idea of the game just getting like constant updates and kind of evolving over time? Because one of the
I think that's a
things,
good idea. If they do
yeah,
it too quick, it could make the game even worse than it is now.
yeah, I
For
think,
example, the vigilance ring is really powerful right now. There could have been they could have made that really badly, but instead they decided to take their time.
yeah,
And
well,
I don't mind that as long as they're actually trying to fix the game. Then I don't care and take as long as you need.
yeah, I think for Destiny to stay good, they need to be constantly changing it because when like the game sinks into a meta, that's when it really starts to suck.
It
They
brings
have
out a lot of
said
complaints. as
Yeah.
well. That
They
was
have
what
said that
happened
they're
with
not
Destiny
like...
1.
Okay. This is more difficult than I thought. Okay. Yeah, they have said that they're not going to be nerfing Vigilance Wing, which I feel like is a good choice, because that's like
It's a
the
good
only...
idea because we'll just be back in Destiny 1,
Yeah,
which was what helped that game so much, is the constant nerfs. It
yeah.
stopped the game from thriving.
So, like, I feel like with the idea they're constantly like buffing things and like bringing things up, it's actually making playing Destiny 2 really interesting, because I'm like, if I don't really like something at the moment, there is a real chance that in a short period of time they're going to change it and make it better, which I don't know. It's put me in this weird spot where it's like I'm not playing the
I'm
game
just
every day, but I'm keeping
I'm
up with it.
interested to see how they fix the hand cannons. That's as a hand cannon main in Destiny 1, it's the only guns I ever used.
Yeah,
And they're kind of poor in Destiny 2. I'm hoping to see them picked up a bit.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe see a hand cannon that can 3-tap like really consistently.
There is a
No
hand cannon
failing
that
in that
can.
area.
There are. Well, it's the highest impact
No
ones.
high impact tiers. They're kind of slow. Get
They are.
outgunned really easily. All the other guns in the game are really pretty much better than hand cannons at this point.
To be honest, I'd be happy with like the old-fashioned archetype, 3 tapping, as long as like it was
That's
three
the things that I
crits.
mean. It
Like,
has to be 3 crits like Destiny 1. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure you can double headshot, body shot, but
nah,
as long as I just hope that the hand cannon that can 3-tap soon enough, because some of the
yeah,
weapons I can use
yeah,
somewhat
I get
useful.
you.
It's all I ever
Yeah.
used.
Yeah, from D1 it was like the palindrome archetype was one
Basically.
headshot, 2 bodies, as long as you got like, well, they were low armor. Well, no, I was going to say low armor, I mean
Mhm.
like below like, near, like 2 off max. Like,
Mhm.
it's like, I prefer 3 crits, because one thing,
That's what I mean. You should be, have to be skeleton as a hand cannon. You have
exactly,
to be accurate and place your shots wheel. That's what I mean. I don't mean something
exactly,
that's just ridiculous and anybody can use it.
yeah.
My hand cannon shot was really good in D1. I could consistently land my hits. That's why I enjoyed them so much. It took a skilled hand to use them.
To be honest, I think one of the things with D2 that they kind of tried and really failed at was they they really tried to like bring the skill ceiling down, which was a
Mm-hmm.
real mistake, which
It's a
meant
bad
that
idea.
it generally is a bad idea. Like, you understand why they do it. If they were targeting casuals,
Mm.
then that's what they were trying to do. They're trying to make it easy for people who are new to the game to feel like they're making progress and stuff, but you shouldn't make changes like that at the expense of your like invested community.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
They actually die hard fans who play the game constantly.
well, lucky for us, they seem to be making all their changes now in respect to us. Like, just before we get into everything, one of the things from the Bungie reveal stream for Warmind was that they talked about the fact that from the community summit, they heard feedback about Escalation Protocol there,
Mm-hmm.
and the community said it's great, but we feel like when we're maxed out and we've got full teams, it's going to be easy and we're going to stomp it. So can you make it
Mm-hmm.
harder? And then they actually threw the
Kind
community under the
kind of
bus.
like Elders when they were max light hit up really easily. It was
Yeah,
just simple. Even at
exactly.
low light, it was really simple when the update first came out. It
Yeah.
was easy to grind, get the exotics again for the first time.
Hmm.
It felt really simple. It
Yeah.
would be nice to see something that's actually hard to earn.
Well, one of the things that they have talked about, and we'll kind of just pivot into the reveal stream stuff that was released. One of the things they released for people who aren't completely in the know is a like a pseudo horde mode called Escalation Protocol, which is going to take place in Patrol on Mars. It's going to be 7 rounds, and there are 3 waves per round. It wasn't exactly clear from the reveal stream how it completely works, One thing that was clear though is it's difficult to get like round 7. Like if you're anywhere near under light, if you're max light, then you can pretty reliably done it if you've got like a fire team with you. But one thing that I've heard from like all the community members is that if you're not, you're not making it to round 7. Like from the community members that I've been keeping track of, one of the things they said is that they were 350. Of course, max light is 370. They didn't get past round 3. Well, no, they didn't. Only one team from from like the summit actually made it into round 3, which I'm quite happy about. And they were all they were 350s. So maybe we've just got terrible players as our representatives. Well, I mean, then Data was there, so maybe genuinely it's difficult. Yes. I'm not going to call that Data. Yeah, not happy.
The TV
exactly. But yeah, only one team made it into the 3rd round, which bodes well, because one of the things that... Go on.
Oh, you can continue. I just wanted to say that. It seems kind of exciting.
Yeah.
I'd like to hope that it's actually as hard as it seems to be. But I suppose only time will tell.
Yeah. To be honest, I think that's one of the things that PvE is really missing is like genuine difficulty. Like, from the perspective of the raids, in most situations...
They're hard if you don't know them. If you know the mechanics and how the raid works, then it's simple.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of getting to know the raid mechanics first, and then go on for that point.
Yeah.
For me, exactly, I've not done the raid in Destiny 2 yet, because honestly, I don't want to. I can't be bothered. I don't enjoy PvE much, but on Destiny 1, the raids were just a matter of getting used to them. I never thought I'd be good at them, but just after time, it became simple. You remember the mechanics. The raid gets much easier.
I think that comes from just like mastery of a certain event, because one of the things that PvE can't really do that well is like new encounters every time. It's just it's the same like A, B, C every single time you do the raid, and as soon as you know it's A, B, C, you're not gonna get anything new from it. You know what I mean?
What you mean, a bit of diversity would be nice.
Yeah. Like, just to take it back to D1, like, Vault of Glass was hard, not because like of mechanics, but because you were put in situations where there were lots of enemies that hit like trucks, and like I just remember like Well of the Templar on hard with those hobgoblins that would nearly one-shot you with like they hit you once. Like, that was hard, not because of mechanics, but because of genuinely you're just getting messed about.
What did you think about the King's Fall raid? That was a mechanical raid. I would say it was done quite well as well.
Yeah, there were quite a few situations in King's Fall where you were put... I mean, the only one that's really close is probably the totems, but yeah, like that. To be honest, King's Fall's more like Callous than anything else.
I suppose, kind of, or it's just a wee bit of a jumping puzzle.
Okay, yeah. We'll just make a little remark here about in the reveal stream, they showed like lore collectibles, like kind of they're tied to Grimoire cards again, on almost like dead ghosts. And there's gonna be like 30 of them, I guess. One of the things I heard it from somewhere. I'm not sure exactly.
Kind of like that jumping the release to Taken King, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I hope so.
From Allen's.
Okay.
Kind of
Yeah,
weird.
I guess. Okay. Now let's get into the thing that we're actually really, as PvP players, really interested in, and that's ranked PvP. So,
Mm-hmm.
just as a quick explanation for how it's going to work. So, you have two PvP ranks, Valor and Glory. Valor is your participation trophy. You get it by playing quick play and any other like limited time events. Rewards are tethered to hitting the cap, which is 2,000, and then resetting and doing that a certain number of times. Rewards
Their
and stuff
gauge
like
of how
that.
much you can get for winning games and stuff. Like, how
Hmm.
much will you get?
They haven't said with all these
Hmm.
things. They've just kind of been really
Just told
vague.
me that we can be somewhat expecting something different.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't think it's going to be like you get one valor point for
Mm-hmm.
playing a game, because
I
that would
hope it
be,
will be at least 100, 200 at the
yeah.
most.
I reckon you're probably going to get one for a loss, two for a
Mm-hmm.
win. That would so
Mm-hmm.
win 200
That would
games or
make more
lose.
sense.
What? Yeah, lose 200. Then moving on, we have what's next is Glory. Glory caps out at 5,500, and it's only available in the competitive playlist. With Glory, you win, you get Glory, but you lose it. So it's more of that nostalgic like PvP rank. There are win
Mm-hmm.
streaks, but there also are loss streaks. And in this ranking system, there are 6 ranks. So in order from bottom to top, you have Guardian, Brave, Heroic, Fabled, Mythic, and Legend. And not sure how exactly they're distributed, but one of the things they said in the live stream is that Fabled is about 40% along your journey, which means that the last two are like 60 by themselves. Not really sure how that works, but another
Weird.
couple of things that are worth noting are for people who are Mythic and Legend, their rank will decay if they don't play at least 3 games in a week, whereas anyone who's below, Fabled and below, they will get a small bonus if they play 3 games in a week, and that's how that works. Also, in terms of solos versus fire teams, if you have, for example, the way it currently would work, if you have a solo by themselves with elo of like 2,000 and they go up against a fire team, it'll do the average elo of that fire team, and if that's about 2,000 again, these people get matched together. In Season 3 with Ranked, the way it's going to actually work is that fire team, it's going to average out the elo, but what it's also going to do is it's going to take into account how big the fire team is, and then based on that, it will either increase or decrease the skill of the solo person. So the bigger the fire team, the higher the solo person's skill, so it should balance out as best as possible. But yeah, so let's just have a chat about this, because this is kind of a big thing.
I hope it works out well. There's been a lot of games in the past that have tried to make it like that. I'm hoping they can actually nail it properly and make it right. There's
Yeah,
a lot of things that could turn it badly, and there's a lot of things about it that could turn it right. And I suppose we just have to wait and see which is which.
yeah. I really am skeptical about this, like the way that they're like trying to balance solos versus like,
Chance like it might not work properly.
well, that, and
But you never
also
know.
I just don't know. I think you can have a team of 4 of the best like players, but if they're not communicating, they're probably going to get stomped by a team of like mediocre,
Solo.
like mediocre people. Like, I'm just thinking about how you've got this. There's no radar in comp, is there? So
No,
it isn't very difficult to like collapse on a really spread out solo team. So
it's kind of like trials in a way.
pretty
I
much.
suppose you're more coordinated in trials unless you're playing with an LFG team or somebody you don't have much chemistry with. It makes it really hard if there's no radar. Trying to stay together and trying to team show as much as possible can be quite difficult if you don't talk to your teammates.
Exactly.
I played a lot of competitive games in the background before Destiny, and it was the exact same way there.
Yeah, I really see.
Communication is pretty much a basis for any game mode that's slightly competitive.
Like, to be honest, like when they first introduced the change of no radar, I was okay with it because it didn't encourage team like hugging together. Unless if you were like a really predictable team, then you could still get team shot. But if you're all coming from separate angles, maybe one person would go down, but you'd have three people like pinching them from all over the place. The flanks were really like, but if you're not communicating, that's just not possible, and you're just gonna get like curb stomped.
Whenever I would play trials in Destiny 2, at some point sometimes we would split 2 and 2 and we'd pinch for both sides. And when we got one down, we'd push us 4 and the last 3 members. And we'd try and complete that every time. And generally it kind of worked, honestly. Sometimes, obviously, if you're against a really good team, it's kind of hard.
Yeah. See, one of the things that we don't really kind of think about, but is worth mentioning, is there are a lot of like solo players that are like, I can't progress to this level because of this reason. Like, if you haven't got a team to go in with, I doubt you're ever going to touch like ranked, because just there's no point. I mean, other than the weapon that we'll get into in a bit, it just doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah, it's that as well. I play a lot of solos, and I don't think unless I was playing my team, I would go into competitive for rank, because it's just a sweat fest, really, and it's kind of hard to play if you're just in a mixture of random players.
Well, we'll get into now the rewards, which are going to be are the main draw of this, because just being legend or mythic doesn't really satisfy anything. Like, I just don't think the respect is there especially with a game that's kind of dying off, but I'm trying to bring it back. So we'll get into like what the rewards are. The main reward for competitive is Redrix's Claymore, which is a slow rate of fire pulse rifle that will be awarded guaranteed when you reach the rank of Fabled. So that's 4 from the bottom: Guardian, Brave, Heroic, then Fabled. Its perk, it has Outlaw, and then a new perk called Desperado. This perk increases it from the slowest rate of fire pulse to the fastest rate of fire pulse while Outlaw is active. It's by getting wall headshot, and
that mean that does the same damage as a high rate of fire power?
Yeah, it still does the same damage.
Kind of ridiculous.
So you really literally obliterate people. Like,
what do you mean the fastest? Like Autumn Wind and stuff?
Autumn Wind. That fast.
God, they can't kill quickly enough without having the
exactly. You asked for this. But yeah, so
I enjoy pulse rifles. That sounds really fun.
That's the main draw for ranked. So only by getting to Fabled will you actually get this gun. So, and what's actually interesting is, just for the sake of this gun, they actually have buffed the Outlaw perk, so that you know how currently when you get Outlaw to proc, if you then get another headshot while Outlaw is currently active, it doesn't like reapply the perk. Well, they've buffed it so that It does.
Does it just reset the timer?
So it resets the timer. So as soon as you get another headshot kill, you can reload again super fast, and then it repeats the process.
So basically, that gun is somebody's really accurate and has really good shots. They can absolutely shred.
They will shred.
Sounds
good play.
Kind of fun.
Considering like how far this weapon's up the spectrum, I can seriously see the situation where anyone who's mediumly good is going to get their hands on this, and it's going to utterly dominate like higher like trials and stuff.
It's a legendary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's legendary. It's not exotic.
I want something to compete with the vigilance ring as opposed, right?
Oh well, we'll get into some more of the exotic changes because some of them are really fun. Another one that's about notice is the shotgun available from Escalation Protocol. Quite cool for PvP. It's the fastest rate of fire shotgun, but the only thing that makes it interesting is that if you melee something before you before you start shooting or anything, it gets double damage for I think it's 4 seconds, so enough time to empty the clip. So
kind of like a reversed too close to call, I think it's called, for Destiny 1 when you melee. Now you can shoot and then one shot melee.
Pretty much.
So it's just a reversed version of that.
But yeah, so the shotgun gets with a shotgun you're already in melee range, but melee to start it off and then double damage from there. So for PvE I think that's gonna be quite potent.
It sounds like it could be quite good in Crucible as well. It depends how much the damage it does as a bee.
You see, like, it's a shotgun. You know Hawthorne's? It's the same, like, rate of fire of that. So,
Hawthorne's a pretty decent shotgun, though.
Exactly. So. Yeah, well, like, but with my offers, it's like, if you're in melee range, you're already in one-shot range with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Like, it becomes like it's got diminishing returns. That's why it's like it's a PvE weapon.
I'm just gonna realise. So it's kind of like close under personal for Destiny 1, but pretty it's much reversed.
Yeah, it's basically a PvE weapon. Like, I don't see this thing getting much play in PvP because it's pointless. If you're within melee range of a super, you're already dead. Let's be honest.
I would like to see them try a perk like that with one of the slug shotguns.
Okay, yeah. Oh, actually, that
For example, you melee somebody in front of you, you finish them off, and there's somebody like, I don't know, let's say like 7 feet in front of you, and you just map-a-door them with your slug shotgun.
That, like, what's it called? Slug shotgun's already map-a-door. That'd be like map-a-door and frosting.
I mean, even more map-a-door than usual. That 4 times damage headshot for that far away.
Yeah,
Jesus
pretty much.
Christ, sounds destructive.
Yeah. Okay. So what we'll get into now is the exotic weapon buffs. Some of these are kind of like meh. I've missed a couple out just because didn't have full information on them, or it's not really they weren't like what's it called? I didn't bother to mention the buff for Fighting Lion because it's honestly kind of meh. It's just increased blast radius and or more the damage is in the explosion as opposed to the direct hit.
That weapon might actually be more useful because Masterworks can increase a different stat altogether. So,
well when you hear some of the changes to some of these other guns, you'll drop that quickly. So
I don't know. I still think it could be kind of reasonably viable as it's a kinetic slot, isn't it?
No, Fighting Lion's energy.
I thought it was close enough.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll
just meant it wasn't a heavy weapon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I suppose. But okay, let's get into these exotic buffs. So first one's first. Skyburner's Oath. What do you think?
I see that when it hit fires, I know it shoots as quickly as the Mida, and now it's going to have explosive shots. I suppose it's merely how much damage is it going to do and how actually precise is the hip fire.
Oh yeah, it's the.
Is it like on explosive rounds? Does it actually create splash damage?
Yeah. The explosions track targets, and they've moved more of the damage to the
targets?
explosion than the direct hit.
What do you mean they track targets?
As in, like, if they're in the reticle, it'll like curve towards them, so it's really hard to miss.
So it's like a really disgusting aim assist.
Yeah, pretty much.
That makes sense, but I don't know who's going to be jumping about Crucible hip firing people.
I think
pointless.
the only class that's really going to get an advantage with this is probably Dawnblades that run the top tree.
Mm-hmm.
So the one where you can glide and shoot at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
the
I think.
Floaty Warrior.
To be honest,
might be somewhat alright with that as well. Just because they jump and just kind of sat up there for a wee while.
I don't know.
On back then. I don't know. I suppose we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, some part of me doesn't see this becoming the new meta.
I actually have the Skyburn as and I don't know, it's a bit mediocre at this point, but I think it could be quite fun with the explosive round.
Yeah, I think it's a fun change as opposed to something that's gonna break PvP.
Basically.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's what they were going for that kind as well.
Okay.
Continue.
Yes, I will continue. Thank you very much. Next down, Graviton Lance. Bigger explosions and Axiom Bolts. And a two-round burst as opposed to
the Axiom Bolts actually do as much damage as the Voidwalker Axiom Bombs, or is it less?
The only real visual we've got of it was a couple of frames from the reveal.
It was a
and that clip that was in the twab.
I suppose, but that's kind of different. I suppose a lot of PvE players will enjoy this, but for Crucible players, I don't know if it will really be that great. A lot of players don't normally bulk up in Crucible, I guess. And the 4v4 doesn't help with this. It doesn't create situations that's going to be really useful. So
yeah,
it sounds a little bit like another useless kind of thing for Crucible, but I suppose it can be kind of really helpful in PvE against Void Shield mobs and stuff. That could be kind of fun for a PvE player.
I'm really interested to see how the 2-round burst plays in PvP, because depending on how they go on.
Action bolts and stuff, I don't know if they work great. I suppose it just depends on how the players are playing. If they're kind of stuck to each other, then that might work kind of well.
Yeah, crowd control style.
I'm
just really interested to see because the 2-round burst, it can do one or two things. It can split the damage, maybe I don't know, 20-40, or they could make it almost like a scout rifle, 50 something and 10 for the different shots. I think
odd.
Yeah, they said that the time to kill was similar to a normal time to kill with Vigilance Wing if you don't land the 2 burst.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's a lot less shots to land. The 2 burst with Vigilance Wing is 10 bullets to the dome, which is if they're standing, unless they're standing still, quite difficult. Yeah.
Even when they're standing still, the recoil is kind of crazy because you're shooting 5 bullets.
Yeah.
It just kind of bounces up.
I suppose. Yeah. I think this next one's the kind of the biggie. Sturm and Drang. Yeah. First, added Rampage to Drang. So, and also maxed its magazine, so it now has a magazine of 20, I think.
I'm not sure.
I'll remember seeing clips of it with 20. I might need to go and watch them again. And then the big one is if you get a kill with Drang, it will load a extra round into the magazine of Sturm. That round will deal 1.8 times damage, or 123, meaning that round, combined with another one, will 2-tap.
So, for example, what is the Sturm's max ammo capacity? Is it 11 in the mag or something?
If you keep getting like
And
shots,
before, I don't
kills
have
with
it yet.
Drang, with Rampage, you can overcharge the magazine from I think it's 11 to 20, and all those 9 shots will all be overcharged and do the 1.8 times.
And how much damage is that?
In PvP, it's 123, which means it can 2-tap.
So 2 taps, which means multiple 2 taps in the same clip.
Yep.
If you manage to do that.
Yeah, I think the only caveat is you've got to run Drang with it, and you've got to get kills with Drang to order to get that effect.
I think Drang is a decent sidearm though.
It is.
I don't know.
It is.
It's a single fire sidearm, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's no auto fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It sounds pretty decent.
It's
Is it
just
the
the
same archetype
archetype.
as the Rattler?
No, it's the archetype like that fires slightly slower than that, so it
So
hits a
more
bit harder.
powerful.
Yeah, hits more harder. It must be mentioned there is no
Kind of
timer on the overcharged rounds, so it's not
But then
like
you have it in
get
how
the
you use
kill
them on.
and then it'll like get away. It'll stay until you fire the shot or die.
And,
This thing's gonna break PvP. Just
I'm kind of excited to finish the quest and get it.
you see, I've already all these exotics that we're listing. I've already got them, so I'm like, but there are some contenders down this list that I'm like, I actually might unequip Sturm and Drang if I want to have fun, because I think one of the things we can jump to is tractor cannon.
That sounds kind of fun. That's one of the weapons that I still would be yet to get.
Yeah,
Like,
I can't
fun
wait.
as a basis, just being able to push people into walls and kill them.
Well, it's more the case that now the buff is that it's when you shoot them, it will suppress, and also they mean they take more damage from void damage.
Which would
like
be kind
double.
of useful if you run a void loadout, like
Pretty
I
much.
don't know, so you have an SMG with the void type and you hit them with that. It's how
it
weak are
melts.
they though? Did they take 2 times more damage or?
It's I'm not sure the exact, but the clip they released showed that it was pretty substantial.
To be fair, most SMG, elemental weapons in the game, like energy weapons, sorry, are quite strong as it is. So with that, it could make it. I don't know.
You've only got to tag them. That's it. And also a case
How much
of
does the tractor cannon actually do? Does it?
it does about like direct hit just immediately, like 110 damage, something like that. I haven't used it in a while.
So then you just shoot at them a few times and they just die basically.
Pretty much.
Then again, I don't know. It sounds fun, but on terms of usefulness,
So,
I don't know. I suppose if you can do 110 damage to anybody with any weapon, then just clean them up is kind of simple at that point.
I'm just thinking about the super shutdown potential. Like
that could be useful. Obviously, suppress them. That sounds
instantly.
I never
Like they run at you and you just suppress them.
I never thought of that aspect.
Like
I forgot to suppress just do that.
Yeah, you can.
That
Like one of the clips.
I'm kind of ashamed.
Yeah, pretty much. One of the things that they released with the all the videos like showing the different guns is they showed someone mid fist of havoc about to land on someone and then just getting tractor cannoned back and instantly out of their super.
Punch them away.
Yeah, pretty much. And another one is the fact that
that gun.
pretty much. But yeah, like one of the things that they showed was if you suppress someone, one of the biggest problems is that right now you push someone off the map. If they land on somewhere that is getting like the timer warning, they can run back onto the map. Whereas now they just suppress and they can't jump back on.
That sounds kind of trolly.
It is. It's a troll gun. Exactly.
I've wanted that gun since I started playing Destiny 2 just because of the fun factor.
But yeah, like.
And now it's even more so.
Exactly. And personally, I feel like that you could make some serious plays with this in trials. Like, you imagine round, 4, the last round, and there's, 3 supers.
Pushy individually and just suppress melee them.
Pretty much.
That would be, well, I suppose it'd be kind of hard, obviously, if it would pushes them away. I suppose if you're a quick, like a hunter or a warlock, you can close the gap pretty quickly with
Well,
either
I think
the speed burst on the warlock or strafe jump on the hunter.
yeah. One of the things though is that with tractor cannon, it's actually got quite a long range. It's not like you only have to like clip them with it, and you'll suppress them. So you can kind of hit them at like max.
I need hit. I don't really know. For example, see if you were to jump up above somebody in a hunter with stompies, and you shoot down on them from above, would that also shoot them away? For like
yeah, well, it would shoot them.
Your ankles, and if you shoot them in the heat, does it
weird.
push
They
them?
have to be like.
If it doesn't push them, and you can do that, that sounds kind of fishy.
Well, they have to like have
jumping in somebody's head and shooting knifing. It's fun.
Yeah, that won't push them away. Like it's interesting. I'd love to put it in the hands of someone like True Vanguard, just because, like he I love how he runs with different ideas, but I think he could really make some really funny plays with this.
Definitely. A lot of good players could be excellent to use.
Oh yeah, like I just imagine, you know,
I'm Friday, so I can get it.
Cool. You know the like B point on Distant Shores, like the what's it called? The Shores of Time map in D2.
Yes, I know Distant Shores.
Yeah, I can just imagine someone jumping up onto B with tractor cannon and just sending like an entire team off,
shooting about 3 people after that.
Exactly, yeah. It's
ridiculous. The absolute potential for clips with that weapon is ridiculous.
I can't wait. I genuinely can't wait.
I can't either.
Another one that, another like change that really needs to be mentioned is the change to Risk Runner. When you get shot with arc damage by Risk Runner, if you have Risk Runner in your hands, you take half damage from any source. So it gets like with any gun.
It's when you have just the gun in your hands, or do you need to have arc conductor for that to happen?
So yeah, when someone shoots you with arc, it starts arc conductor. While arc conductor is active, you take half damage. So
that sounds kind of good. That Risk Runner is actually a good submachine gun.
Yeah.
Arc conductor perk is actually really good as well. You have infinite ammo, and if people like to handhold, you can shot them.
Exactly.
It's kind of ridiculous. Makes it kind of good for a Russian weapon.
Very much. One of the things that must be mentioned is that arc conductor will activate even if the weapon is stowed. But you won't get the shield, like the resistance to damage, if it's not in your hands.
If it's not actually in your hand.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
It's definitely gonna be interesting to like.
I don't know, it'll be that great is another question entirely.
Well, yeah, like I'm just thinking about ×2 damage resistance. It's pretty significant.
It seems like it,
That's kind of walking tank levels of damage. It's super damage resistance. That's actually kind of crazy. Like, if you can be swiped once by an arc strider and not die.
That seems kind of odd.
Yeah, there's some really potent changes here.
Definitely.
Hard
light. A lot of fun ones and a lot of powerful looking ones.
Oh yeah.
That is increased damage for ricochet rounds, isn't it?
Yeah, ×2 to be exact.
Except, to be sure, the ricochet rounds are kind of hard to hit.
Yeah.
I suppose it's just to make that spraying and praying.
What I'm really interested to see is it faster to just shoot someone in the head, or body shot someone by shooting off the floor and them? Yeah. Like, which kills quicker? Because there might be a PvP meta where you have people shooting the floor or the walls instead of shooting people, which I find hilarious.
Ridiculous. I kind of have very fun watching just people spraying in the ground. It's ridiculous.
There's quite a few of these changes that are just like Well,
That's definitely a fun meta to see.
I can't
People
wait.
run around with guns.
Yeah. Another one, Crimson. They just bumped up the
Just a
damage.
damage buff, isn't it?
Yeah. So it'll
Is
kill
it
now
critical high?
in 7 crits.
So that's what, 2 bursts?
Two bursts and 1 bullet.
So
Which
basically a 3 tap, kinda, and depends on what sense you see it as a hand cannon. So
yeah. I think the only difference is that it's a burst.
That's Crimson yet, but it looks pretty good, given the fact that the health regen and know that it's going to be technically just a 2 burst with a singular bullet to the ankles,
Yeah.
just to kill somebody, and then you get your health back. It seems like it might be quite viable to use as a hand cannon, even though it's kind of like a burst rifle.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting, but I don't know about how well it'll compete with like Sturm and
Could be
Drang.
quite viable in a Warlock with either the Empowering Rift or a Healing Rift if you want to be constantly at full health.
Empowering Rift. Because like it doesn't
their damage. It's going to be exactly a 2 burst then, or maybe even a 1 burst depending on how much damage it does.
Empowering Rift doesn't buff crit damage in PvP. It only buffs body shot damage.
Yeah. Odd. I never knew that. I've never used it, but
yeah,
I prefer the Healing Rift personally.
That's the reason you don't see like hundreds of like people all like healing like empowering rifts around corners, or people standing there and just melting people.
It seems kind of odd. Why? I don't know why it's no headshots.
Well, I don't know. Maybe in the future. It's Yellow Bungie. Okay. Well, the last one we're really going to talk about in terms of the like exotic changes is Rat King. So they're giving it full auto and making it so that the buff is more potent for smaller fire teams. So if you've got like the ramp up in like the buff isn't like linear. It's like it goes up really steep and then curves off towards like 6 members. So I mean, it also procs now, even if the member doesn't have the weapon like in their hands, like as long as they're standing near you with the weapon like equipped on their character, you'll get the buff.
Seems odd. I've never actually used the Rat King. It seems kind of fun though, with the actual invisible perk and stuff, and then mixture with that perk that they're adding, well, the buff that they're adding.
See, with all these like changes, because I've been in my PvP mind, I'm just thinking about how do they compare to Redrix's Claymore or Sturm and Drang.
It's the exact same as me. I don't play PvE, so it's most of the PvE buffs and stuff are kind of needless to me, but they're still interesting to see, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of just like you. I'm very focused on the PvP side, so I'm interested in the actual PvP weapons.
Yeah. I do wonder how long it will take for someone to grind up to Fabled level and get Register's Claymore. I reckon it'll be the Friday.
Grinding on day 1 though, so
yeah, it'll be the Friday. I reckon.
I will start grinding straight away to get it.
It's gonna be stupid. I don't even know, man. It's just gonna be stupid.
It's likely, but that's why I'm going to try and get it to find out if it is going to be stupid.
Well, like, after seeing it in action, it is stupid. Like, you only have to look at a clip of it.
I haven't seen the clip yet. I know what the weapon looks like, but I've not seen the clip yet.
You need to just look how quickly it... Remember, the low impact pulse rifles, nearly 2 burst, like they're just off.
I like the Altman. The Altman's excellent.
Yeah.
So that's my go-to pulse rifle if I'm using a pulse rifle. It looks beautiful as well, which just adds to the pleasure of using it.
It looks like Praedyth's timepiece.
Kinda. Mine's is black and blue, so it just kind of looks excellent. I know what the Redrix Claymore looks like. It does look like the timepiece. I throw back. It's nice. I'm pretty sure the timepiece at a time was really powerful as well, so it's kind of fitting.
Yep. Okay, and then last thing, we're not really going to talk about Borealis because we're Xbox players and we're salty.
And we're still really triggered and butthurt over how powerful it is, and we don't get to use it.
Yep, pretty much.
As a sniper, I can completely feel that.
Okay. Last thing on the list is Exotic Masterworks. So the way it works is you have your exotic, and it'll have a catalyst slot. You'll have to do a certain thing to get the exotic catalyst. That catalyst gives you the bonus of orb generation and kill tracking.
Does it buff any stats for the weapon?
No. In order to get the actual full masterwork, you then have to do another task of some description to get the stat bonuses, and the stat bonuses are pretty significant. Like with Cold Heart,
is it mostly PvE stuff you have to do, or is it PvP as well?
I don't know. They've kept the only one they've really let loose is Cold Heart, but to Cold Heart it buffs like the range by 20 and stability by 20.
So really good changes.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty good. I'd say you're not just getting one stat, you're getting multiple.
2. And by quite a bit as well. I'm pretty sure what a normal legendary masterwork is plus 10.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. I've not really had much time with masterwork weapons to really know the difference.
Yeah. Okay. See, with this, it's it's nice, and I'm gonna enjoy the grind for masterworking, like my Sturm and Drang and stuff. Or Sturm. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna keep me playing and stuff. Orb generation's nice, but that's not gonna. That's not the main draw.
Then the main thing people are gonna be excited for is the weapon buff, the plus stats, obviously.
Oh shit! I've almost forgot.
What the buffs are for. It's the masterworks in every exotic weapon. People will be. Is that an eye?
That is an eye.
People will be excited to see what the buff to the Mida is, considering obviously it's already really powerful if you're skilled. If you hit your heat shots really well. That's the weapon I've used the most in D2 so far. I still really like it. Still ridiculous. Weapons like Vigilance Wing that are already really powerful, what their buffs are going to be like with the Masterworks. People are going to be looking at the weapons that are already really powerful and the exotics to see what the buffs are going to be like with the Masterworks. And I think that's what people are going to be most excited for, is the exotic Masterworks. Orb gen's nice and stuff, but is it really that important? I'm pretty sure it's not even that much super you get.
Yeah, the orbs are. I think 5%. Super gen.
So not even really something worth caring about, but the actual buffs to handling, range, whatever else, might actually be really, really viable. If people don't have them and you do, then I don't really know. Will your weapon technically be better than theirs?
I suppose. I think we've left.
It's odd to think about, but I think it could be a cool concept depending on how they play it into the game.
Yeah, I get. Okay. We've left one of the biggest changes till last, and that is private matches. Yes,
something that should have been in the game a long time ago. Don't know why they left it out for so long. Kind of stupid, honestly.
Pretty much.
They took a step back for that when they made this game, no having private matches. Probably a lot of people feel the same way. It was in D1 near the end of the game. Why didn't they just keep it in? Who knows? They are kind of crazy. Some aspect, but
I'm glad we have it now.
Unless they have some sort of special feature that they wanted to put in with it, who knows?
To be honest, I'm just really interested to see how the competitive community takes D2. Yeah, because with D1, the competitive scrim community was their rule list was flipping ridiculously long. And
I was
I'm just really interested.
Players that did scrums and stuff as we own. A lot of the competitive players actually were quite viable to the community in some sort of sense.
Yeah. I think it's just going to be interesting to watch because you don't really get to see on a regular basis really good teams in scenarios that are like other than like trials and stuff. Like I can just imagine a proper 4-man like God Squad team.
I was watching scams recently, face some competitive players. They weren't playing D2, and they were trying some scrams.
And
I never actually really watched the whole hang. I seen a wee bit of it though, and I don't really know if they enjoyed it or not. Do you know who Sir Demetrius is?
yeah.
He was a pretty big player in the Destiny 1 community for scrams and stuff. He live streamed sweats and stuff on Destiny 2. I never really seen if he enjoyed it or no. I just saw that it was happening.
Yeah. Because a lot of the things that they got rid of with like D2 was because of like this like sweat community. Like a lot of those changes seems to be trying to go in that direction, which I'm really interested to see. Like you've kind of got this game which is kind of catering more towards that like this like the sweat community scrims and stuff, and I don't know. I want to see just how like they run with it properly.
I'm honestly a big fan of the competitive scene of Destiny. I'm hoping that it picks up when they add a lot of this stuff back in. It'd be nice to see.
Okay. I think now the last thing we're going to talk about is what we want to see added into D2. Like we've had these changes. What is next? Because that's one of the things Bungie's made a big point about saying is we're listening. We want to hear from you guys. What do you guys want to see? So, what do you actually want to see next? Yeah, that's a big question.
Kinda.
Okay, I'll give you a second to think because it's kind of like off the cuff.
Could you go with that question again, please?
What do you want to see coming
What do
in
I want
D2?
to see?
Like, what do you want them?
There's a lot of
Like,
things.
if you had to do one big thing that you want to see changed, what would it be?
The one thing that I want changed in the game.
Yeah, just a priority number one.
That's my opinion, a priority.
Yeah.
The jump to 6v6.
Okay. So bring 6v
Really
back.
The
Okay.
4v4 is too slow. Most of the time you play a game, it doesn't even end.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it will end the time. You'll play like 8 minutes and you'll be like, say you're playing Clash, whatever. There will be 30 kills out of however many there are in the game.
Okay.
And it'll just be really boring and slow. And then other games, you'll finish the game really quickly if you're obviously in a stacked team or playing with really good players. I don't know. I don't enjoy the way the game feels in a 4v4 environment.
Okay. Like, don't get me wrong,
Much
I understand.
slower.
I think, for me, it's just a lowering in the time to kill, like, across the board. Like,
actually,
like,
that would be as real. To be honest, that'd be the next one as real.
Like, don't get me wrong.
If it was personally what I wanted, it'd be 6v6. Obviously, the lower time to kill and special weapons been back in the game, like them reverting it.
Yeah.
A primary, obviously, you're special and you're heavy.
Don't get me wrong. See, weapon slot changes are coming. We know that that's in the future. They've already revealed that that's like on the roadmap. But
I just want to use my sniper again consistently.
Yeah, I think I do miss.
What I did about Destiny 1.
See, in D2, I do like the way that like power ammo isn't everywhere. If you get what I mean, like
I know, but in D2 it's really annoying because if one team gets it and they just roll it constantly back and forth between themselves, game you just constantly get dumped into the gun and it feels like shit.
Yeah,
the regular guns kind of compete with the heavy at the minute, and it's kind of annoying.
To be honest, I think that lowering the time to kill would kind of like
that would help with that situation. You would have more likely a chance of outgunning the person like shooting rockets, grenade launchers,
Yeah, but
running at you with a sword. Even though the sword isn't that viable,
you
it
see,
can still do some damage.
the only issue is that we were
Mm-hmm.
complaining about this with D1.
Oh, okay.
We were complaining with D1 that my buff primaries was a big thing. Make my primary
Mm-hmm.
more powerful. And it's like
Yes.
we're like at least with the power weapon slot, they're all in one place, and we're
Mm-hmm.
not. They're
I
like
suppose, but that's the point that is a problem with it. Snipers are not as valuable as a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher or
and
a shotgun for that matter. So I don't really think
I
they
think it's a
belong in that
balancing act. Like
category.
if I was gonna change, like
You can't just nerf rocket launchers and stuff just to make them look as useful as a sniper.
yeah,
I don't really know how they would move on for that sense if they were going to try and do something with it.
to be
I
honest,
just don't think the snipers belong in the heavy category. They don't compete with any of the other heavy weapons.
well, I think it's a case of ease of use.
There's only a handful of snipers that are actually really, really good in the game.
Yeah, but like I think in the case of power weapon slot, it's an ease of use thing, as opposed to
Yeah.
like with snipers, they're high skill weapons, and it's a case of you've got to be really good to actually make them work. Whereas with rockets, it's just
Obviously,
point and shoot.
it's just point and shoot. It's really low skill. Same with weapons like the colony. You literally just point and shoot at the ground in front of somebody and it'll just chase them.
Exactly. So it's like either they need to make weapons like snipers that easy to use, or
I don't
they
want them
need
to be that
to.
easy to do. I just want them to remove category. They don't belong with heavy weapons.
So I do
And the
enjoy
flinch from them kind of
in
hurts that as
D2.
well. The amount of flinch they have, it makes it even harder to
Yeah,
use.
flinch would be a quick way to really make them buffed.
That helps them a lot.
They would, but like
And then
one of the things that I really like about D2 is that I can walk into a lane. Every time I peek a lane, I'm not worried I'm going to instantly get sniped in the head.
Okay.
Like
That's what I enjoyed about sniping in Destiny 1. I was skilled with a sniper. If people peeked me in a place that I wanted them to peek, I would kill them
yeah,
90% of the time.
But like,
Unless they flinch me out of the show. In Destiny 2, that's kind of really hard to do.
oh yeah, no, there are
You would
plenty
get
of
shown
lanes.
in D1, but you'd be able to actually play against the flinch because it wasn't that bad for a while.
It
And
was.
then it's ridiculous.
It did get pretty bad.
It got
towards
worse.
the end.
Taking King and stuff. It was actually pretty. It wasn't simple, but if you were good enough with a sniper, you could play against the flinch and still get your heat shot at. And Destiny 2, it's pretty much impossible. The flinch is ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
they
the
did
team
reduce
shot
it.
doesn't help that either. Your sniper literally might as well just jump at your hands at that point. Run away.
Like, from the perspective of someone who just like spent when the first week of Iron Banner, I spent that entire week sniping. That was the only power weapon I ran.
I played like 4 games of Iron Banner and
just stopped. Yeah.
I was sick of getting played against 6 mans and just getting stomped by heavy ammo.
No, I understand.
But like,
from the perspective of somebody who did that, snipers in 6v6 especially are viable. You can use them, but it's a case of when you compare them in terms of ease of use, that's where they're like, don't get me wrong, you can still, yeah. If you have a good,
them, it's just overly wise to use them because obviously fusion rifles and stuff are just
against everything else.
Them. Exactly, which is why people don't want to use them, and it's just why they're being used. Probably, them and swords are probably the least used weapons.
Oh yeah, that was probably because of the nerf to quick fang, but I still think it's just the competition as opposed to them being bad. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't think they're that bad, but the snipers that are actually really good are kind of hard to get.
Yeah.
For example, the Maxim 7 and the Gentleman's Vagabond and stuff.
You can't get the Maxim 11 anymore.
I don't know if you can even get the Gentleman's Vagabond
You
anymore.
can get that's the Crucible Sniper.
I just want a reasonably decent sniper that has quick draw, and I can't seem to get any.
Yeah, well,
If I had one of these snipers and I actually had a chance to use them and draw a final verdict on what I thought is sniper rifles in this game, then I would be able to.
yeah.
But finding an actual good sniper with quick draw is kind of hard.
I think that's a problem with fixed roles.
Mm.
More than
horrible
more than just like we could go on for hours about every little thing that Nig does and does with D2, but yeah, I think
things on but
okay, but like yeah, let's end this with just our. If you're going to sum up the Warmind and Season 3 launch and the change that's come with it into just one word, what would you use to describe it?
An improvement.
An improvement.
That's mainly one word, but it's a word nonetheless.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'd go with if I was going to say into one word, just change. Depending on like how quickly I get enraged by Sturm and Drang and Regic's Claymore. Depends on whether it's a good change or a bad change.
Me too. I think I'll be tilted off the planet quickly.
Oh my god. I can only imagine the rage of just a team of Regic's Claymores. Oh.
It's mostly
it's going to be painful to be on the receiving end.
I think the world might come to a standstill if I get scared against a team like that, to be completely honest with you.
Oh man, it's amazing. They add really fun stuff and we're immediately like, why did you break PvP?
I suppose it's hard to please me. That's how I like it.
Well, thanks guys for listening. As always, if you made it this far, the secret code to put in the comments is Sugar Waffles. And please drop a like.
Sugar Waffle.
Yeah, why not? That's how, if someone comments Sugar Waffles, that means they heard the whole thing.
Will you at least like their comment?
Yeah, they can do that too. Yeah, take his advice, guys. Like and comment.
If relative doesn't give your comment a love heart, then he's not a true friend.
A true YouTuber, yeah. I'm a shit kid. That's what happens. Oh crap! I just got demonetized.
Demonetized for hatred of subs.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. See you guys.